So it looks like Travis Fulgham came out to speak about him being benched for Alshon Jeffrey. I got a question for you guys. Can Travis Fulgham be a legit number two weapon alongside Devontae Smith?
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see, we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so you're instantly notified when I go live or drop some content. Lastly, hit that like button for your boy. It goes a long way for the channel. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Philly_Mike25. And you know how we start these videos.
EAGLES Eagles!
Let's go. Now, I want to hop right into it, but before I say what I got to say about Travis Fulgham, I asked this question to Mike K, a guy who has had his eyes on every single practice, training camp, whatever you want to call it, since they did it all 7 days. We talked about the beginning, the pads, all that stuff, and I have a little clip that I want to play. Hopefully y'all can hear it. We talked about Travis Fulgham, and some of the other guys. But speaking of some of the skill players, Devontae Smith being out, what have you seen from a guy like Quez Watkins, from a John Hightower, from this young wide receiving core, even Travis Fulgham, who spoke up a little bit today via reports about him, losing time to Alshon. What have you seen in all that situation?
Well, I think let's start off with Travis, because Travis has looked very good. He missed a couple of practices during the first week with some lower body stuff. But, I mean, he got the best of Darius on 3 reps yesterday. I mean, he's making plays. He's fine. He can be a starter. He is an NFL starter, in my opinion. Devontae Smith looked good before he got injured. Quez Watkins has been really, really good, but the sample size is small. He's only been involved in 3 practices. He's making plays, though. John Hightower had his best catch all summer. Today, Jalen Hurts put a beautiful ball towards the sideline. We talked about Zach McPherson, who's heavy in coverage, and Hightower leaped up and got it and played up to his size, which he really didn't do last year.
No.
Arcega-Whiteside's been fine, but at this point you need a little bit more than fine from him. Rager's been a little disappointing. I mean, he is coming off of a failed physical. There's a lot going on personally. He's obviously hearing it from the coaching staff. That doesn't mean he's a bust. That doesn't mean he's done. It's just not a great start to camp.
There you go. Definitely got a lot of questions when it comes to Jalen Reagor, but I wouldn't call him a bust just yet. But he did say yesterday, when pads first got on, Travis Fulgham beat Darius in 3 different reps. 3 different reps, he beat him. I think Travis Fulgham is going to try his best to prove that I was more of the early receiver than the latter receiver we saw when he lost time to Alshon and stuff. Listen to an article Jeff Kerr wrote on CBS about the whole situation. Travis Fulgham couldn't explain why he was benched despite having the best 5-week stretch for a Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver since Terrell Owens from week 4 to week 8 of last season. Fulgham had the most receiving yards, 435 in the NFL, along with the 4th highest yards per reception, which was 15, and tied for the 4th most touchdowns, 4. The Eagles looked like they had a star in the making until Fulgham's playing time decreased for no explicable reason. Conventional wisdom suggested Alshon Jeffrey returning from a Liz Frank injury played a role in Fulgham going from the penthouse to the outhouse. Again, this is Jeff Kerr from CBS. Fulgham essentially confirmed that was the case. This is Fulgham's words. I felt like I was always at my best. It was just that my role changed at the time, Fulgham said at the conclusion of Eagles training camp practice Wednesday. Alshon came back healthy and that was his spot. I kind of just went back into my role, I guess. Of course, Travis Fulgham, 67 catches, 38 receptions, 67 targets, I should say, 38 receptions, 539 yards, 4 touchdowns. So Fulgham went from one of the best receivers in the league to not playing at all. He just had 9 catches in the final 8 games, finishing with just 104 yards and a touchdown. He played under 45% of the offensive snaps in each of the final 5 games. And last but not least, this is what Fulgham said at the end. It was rough, but this is a team sport. Fulgham said, I just had to move on and continue practicing. I had to continue to fill my role. That's not my job to question the coaches. I agree there. You got to do it, and I wish he would have showed some more in that 45 sample size, but it definitely killed his mojo. And now that he would have an actual number 1 wide receiver in Devontae Smith, a guy who can win at different parts of the field, where he's more of a big body guy, even though he was beating Darius Slay in a multitude of ways. And Darius Slay's no slouch. Watch what he does this year. I think Travis Fulgham not only is going to be able to have more opportunities, he's going to have less coverage, bracketing him. Like that one game right before Alshon came against the Giants, Bradbury played him really close man-to-man, and they threw a lot of bracket coverage. Linebackers watching them, safeties watching them. They put a lot of attention to Travis Fulgham. So Zach Ertz got something to prove. Jalen Hurts' legs, Devontae Smith, the emergence of Quez Watkins. If Travis Fulgham can get back to where he was, you're not going to be able to pay as much attention to him. Hence, he's going to be able to push for that breakout type season. A red zone target, something that we wanted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to do to replace an Alshon Jeffrey. So I'm expecting a huge year for Travis Fulgham as long as health doesn't get in the way. But Devontae Smith is going to be a part of it, and so is Travis Fulgham going to be a part of Devontae Smith's rookie season accomplishments, I should say. So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section about Travis Fulgham coming out and saying, yeah, I felt I was at my best, but I lost my spot. It is what it is. He has to have the mindset to move forward, but that should make him want to work harder. Mike K said that he's going to be a starter. I mean, he's been showing a lot. We haven't seen what we needed to see from Jalen Reagor. He's a slot guy. And Quez, I hope he fights for some time. 4 wide receiver sets 5, but right now it looks like the number 1 and 2 is Devontae and Travis, and everybody else is going to find their role. With that being said, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section, and if you want, go back and watch that whole Mike K interview. I think it's like 30 minutes long. We talked a lot behind the scenes because he has his eyes on training camp. But until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.